Hi everybody, so today we're going to talk about objective 1.4, which is about simplifying expressions using the distributive property. Okay, so please do me a favor right now, pause the video and try each of these six do now problems, and then when you press play you can check your answers with mine. Alright, so here we have our answers for the do now. Okay, please be careful on number 5, double negative, that turns into a positive, okay? All right, so what is the distributive property? So this is review from 8th grade and from 7th grade as well, okay? The distributive property contains multiplication and either addition or subtraction. So this is what it looks like. The distributive property states that if I have x times a quantity, meaning in parentheses y plus z, I'm going to distribute the x to both of my terms, and my final product, the final answer, is going to be xy plus xz. X times y plus x times z. So what does that mean? So let's do some examples here. Simplify each expression by using the distributive property to get rid of the parentheses. So let's take a look at number 1, 7 times n plus 6. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 7 and I'm going to multiply that into both terms in my parentheses. Okay, 7 times n is just going to be left 7n. Remember, if there's something like this with a coefficient and a variable, that means multiplication. All right. And then 7 times 6 is 42. Okay, so my final answer is just 7n plus 42. That's all I have to do. Okay, number 2, same thing. 5 times 3x gives me 15x. Alrighty, and 5 times 12 gives me plus 60. Alright, so now numbers 3, we have 6 times 5y, that gives us 30y. And then 6 times 10 gives me 60, but be careful, it's minus 60, not plus 60, because this 10 is negative, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video. Please try 4, 5, and 6, and then you can press play and check your answers. Alrighty, so that's 4 through 6, okay? Be careful again with the negatives, alright? So let's take a look at number 7. We have negative 2 times, in parentheses, negative 3 plus 5x. So negative 2 times negative 3 gives me positive 6. Remember, a negative times a negative, gives me a positive, all right? Negative 2 times 5x gives me minus 10x. So we have 6 minus 10x, okay? Be careful, negative times positive is negative. Okay, number 8, we have negative 5 times 6x. That gives me negative 30x. And then negative 5 times negative 3 gives us positive 15, so plus 15. Be careful. Okay, number 9, negative 7 times 7 gives me negative 49. Negative 7 times positive 2y gives me minus 14y. Okay. All right, so now number 10, we have pretty much the same thing, except we have 3 terms in our parentheses. We have a trinomial. So when I distribute the 5, I'm going to distribute the 5 to all 3 of my terms. Okay, 5 times negative 3x gives me negative 15x. 5 times 10y gives me plus 50y. And then 5 times negative 7 gives me minus 35. Okay, so pause the video, try number 11, and then check your answer with mine when you press play. All right, so for number 11, you should have got negative 48x minus 72y minus 24z. Okay, so now this set of notes right here is the same thing as from 1.3. All right, I know an expression is in the simplest form when there are no grouping symbols or parentheses. So whenever you watch the 1.3 video, when I told you to write these down, the grouping symbols, this is what I was talking about here. These guys are not in simplest form because I have parentheses here. So you always have to use the distributive property, get rid of the parentheses to put any expression in simplest form. And then there are no like terms. We talked about that on 1.3. All right, so these guys are both reviews, but again, I said we were going to address this one today, and that's what we're doing with the distributive property, all right? So let's take a look at some more examples that combine this and what we learned about on 1.3, okay? Simplify each expression. So number 1, we have 2 times 4 plus 3x plus x. Now, when I do the distributive property, I'm only going to distribute this 2 into both terms in my parenthesis. I'm not going to distribute this 2 to this x because this x is not inside the parentheses. Okay, so 2 times 4 is going to give me 8. 2 times 3x is going to give me plus 6x. And then this x is going to be by itself out here. Okay, please do not multiply 2 times x here. This x is not inside the parentheses that are next to this 2. Okay, now we're not done yet because this isn't simplified because we have like terms left. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to simplify by combining 6x and 1x, which is going to give me 7x. So my final answer is 8 plus 7x. Now I'm done. Okay, number 2, we have 3 times 6x plus 2y. Only distribute the 3 to the numbers inside the parentheses. 3 times 6x gives me 18x. 3 times 2y gives me 6y. And then plus 22x, that's hanging out by itself. And now I'm going to combine like terms. Okay, and that's going to give me 30x plus 6y. Okay, so you need to apply the distributive property and then combine like terms. Okay, number 3 I'm going to do with you, then I'm going to have you guys try number 4, and then I'm going to do 3 and 4 with you, then I'm going to try, have you guys try the rest, and then we're going to check our answers. Okay, so number 3, we have negative 5 times 2 plus 3x. So I'm going to distribute that negative 5 into both of these. And now I also have 2 times 4x plus 2. So I need to distribute that 2 into both the terms inside my parentheses. So here I'm going to get negative 10 minus 15x. Okay, be careful. This is a negative, that's a positive. Negative times a positive equals a negative. Okay, plus 8x plus 4. Okay, now I'm going to combine like terms. Okay, so negative 10 plus 4 combined, that gives me negative 6. Okay, I'm just adding negative 10 plus 4. And 15x, or negative 15x plus 8x combined, that leaves me with minus 7x. Okay, so that's my final answer. All right, let's take a look at number 4. 15y minus 3 times 6y plus 4, all in parentheses, plus 8. All right, so I see one set of parentheses that I need to get rid of by using the distributive property. So 15y, that's by itself. Now, 3 times 6y, be careful, it is minus 18y because this is a negative. We're subtracting. We're distributing a negative 3. Okay? So now negative 3 times 4 is minus 12. And then the plus 8 is hanging out by itself. Okay? 15y minus 18y, after we combine like terms, gives me negative 3y. And negative 12 plus 8 gives me minus 4, and that's my final answer. Okay, so pause the video, try number 5 and 6 before you do. This negative outside the m minus 1, what you're doing is you're distributing a negative 1. When there's not anything written there, same as when there's nothing written on the coefficient, you're distributing a negative 1. Okay, so try number 5 and 6 and 7, and then we're going to do 8 together, and then we'll be done. All right, so for number 5, when you distribute the negative 1, you should get negative m plus 1 plus 4m plus 2. After you combine like terms, you're going to get 3m plus 3. Okay, number 6, 4a minus 6 minus 2 in parentheses 3a minus 1. When you distribute the minus 2, you're going to get minus 6a plus 2. Be careful, negative times negative is positive. Combine like terms, you get negative 2a minus 4. Number 7, nothing to do here really. Okay, there's a 1 out here, but when you distribute the 1, you're going to end up pretty much with the same exact thing. When you combine like terms, you get 8x plus 9. Okay, number 8, there's nothing outside this parenthesis, so the negative 5x plus 12 stays the same. When you distribute this negative 1, you get negative 8x minus 11. And then after you combine like terms, you get negative 3x plus 1. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's the distributive property and combining like terms. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you have any questions.